So there's something that I saw today that's very disturbing, and that is, I saw it on Twitter, and it was a tweet by James Woods, the actor, and the Republican activist. I say Republican activist, for you can unpack that one. But anyway, it was of this blackish, brownish, dark, maybe he's black, mixed of some sort, fellow, probably in his early 30s, late 20s, early 30s, pummeling this elderly man who was in bed. And, you know, he was, he was, you know, like punching at him, and the man was doing this and doing that. And I suppose for people who have never been in a fight before, that wouldn't be me, who have never studied martial arts or boxing, then they might see that and oh my God, people, it's a fucking staged situation. First, he was pulling back. This guy was a trained boxer. He's pulling back all of his punches. And for anyone who has done any training, you know that you do a lot more sparring where you actually don't make contact, or contact is very light. See, no imprint there. If I do that, you can hear it. Also leaves a little red mark already. Anyway, so the video had this man, you know, punching at this elderly man, and it's kind of, you know, slow motion, not bad. No anger on his face. And it wasn't like a dispassionate, it was just kind of like, yo. So if anyone's ever been, you know, physically abused, whether by a parent or a child of an elderly adult or whatever, there's a lot of facial expression going on in people's faces in those situations. Anyway, so you see after a couple minutes of this pummeling taking place, him turn the man over, totally moving slowly but totally unaffected. And then there's like some, you know, you don't really see what's off-camera stuff, and then the guy takes a close-up of the man and shows this blood coming out of his face. Okay, well, you should go take a look at it yourselves, and if you happen to think any part of that is true, I have some land to sell you, and also it tells me that you need to spend a lot more time around old people, because you have no fucking clue what they are like when they are being handled in any way, touched even slightly, as well as what happens to them when they get a laceration and what have you. The oxygen level in their bodies is so low, and they don't bleed really in the same way that like a young person would. Anyway, and the other thing is, if you believe that, then you definitely need to go take a self-defense class and learn a little bit about martial arts and fighting and the difference between a rehearsed stunt and an actual pummeling. So I mention all of this because it was, wow, that sun's friggin' bright. Can you see my pores? Probably. Chin hairs? Oh God. Anyway, fuck it. So the reason why this was such a big deal to me was because the police in Michigan posted a response thanking the community for your involvement. Thank you for saying something. Because of you, we were able to make an arrest. Doesn't say to whom, doesn't show a mugshot, nothing like that. They made an arrest. See something? Say something. This is a fucking ad for the upside of squealing on your neighbor. Don't let the state turn you into a snitch. Don't let the state turn you into a nosy Nelly busybody. Take care of your own shit. You don't need to be, tattling on people because they are not wearing a mask or they ran a red light or whatever. If it's a victimless activity, there's no reason to be snitching. Now, in this case, if that man was actually getting pummeled, that would not be a victimless crime, right? That would be actual physical abuse. In this case, though, the abuse wasn't of an old man. The abuse was of the public. The abuse is of the followers of James Woods, who just went swallowed that. Nothing tastes that good to swallow without checking it out first. Come on, guys. So, in addition to that video, was another black-white issue, and that is of the senseless, horrible, awful murder that took place of the young woman whose home was broken into by police. Police were in plain clothes, broke into their house and shot and killed and murdered the woman. It wasn't an accident. And this was after her boyfriend, who was a member of what is the gun thingy, NRA, and had a legal right to have a weapon, and his guns were all registered. And when the police in plain clothes broke in the middle of the night, no warrants, claiming mistaken identity, and didn't announce themselves, no charges, no nothing, claiming that they were in fear of their lives. So they let off a bunch of bullets and killed the woman. And that also is being used as a black-white issue. So I agree. I think that the country is in fact divided. But in my 35,000-mile road trip the last few years, visiting over 40 states and talking to people everywhere I go, as I do, I can assure you that it's not between black, white, women, men, Republican, Democrat. It's between people who believe that the state is their God and they obey it by faith under all circumstances, versus people who don't. As for me, I serve the Lord Jesus Christ, and He's my only God, so I am not a state worshiper. And I've been fortunate enough to live outside the state and have a bit of an objective perspective on what is going on that other people don't have. And don't let the state turn you into a snitcher. And regardless of what your feelings are about guns and about black people, white people, whatever, the intruders who broke into that home unannounced, against the consent of the residents, that is a human rights issue. That's not a black or white issue. That's not a gun rights issue. It's a property rights issue. And if you're not secure in your home, and if your home isn't a sanctuary, then you're no better than a owned piece of livestock. Are you livestock? I'm not. I'm a human.